Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades, and how are we all doing today? And I am back to look at Love is Blind series season 5, I should say, and we are now on episode 5. I decided that I was going to do this episode today. After watching it, I had to do this episode today. So before we get into it, all I would ask you to do is please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button, so when you know I am back and doing videos. And let's get into this episode right now. Oh my god, that's what I have to start off with, is oh my god. So let's recap. We know Aaliyah's left. Aaliyah decided to go. There was no rhyme or reason to why she went. She just went because it looked like she couldn't hack the situation that had occurred between herself, Uche, and Lydia. So as it moves on, we see that Uche goes into the men's lounge basically and tells them that she's gone, that she's left. And it's not making any sense to Uche, because when they left the discussion, she was still very much into him. She still very much loved him. She's still very much looking like that she wanted to get married to him. And I was like, how can you not make sense of the situation in that sense at first? Because he knew that Aaliyah had his reservations with the shit that he was told about him and Lydia. And then with Lydia going as far as she went to in her descriptive behaviours with what she did with Uche and how they went about stuff and this, that and the other, and the fact that they had sex quite recently. So all of that would still be playing on this girl's mind. So I'm thinking, what the hell went on next at the end of the day? Because if it's got Uche baffled, it's damn well got me baffled. But the only thing I know is that when Uche was explaining it, Milton had already had a smirk on his face, because Milton had clearly already knew what Uche was speaking about and why Aaliyah may have left, because Uche hadn't told the rest of the lads in terms of that he'd been dating Lydia previous to any of this, and she's managed to, like, you know, 2 exes have managed to get into Love is Blind. Don't know how the fuck that happened, but they've managed to do it. So then he turned around and basically said that, you know, him and Lydia used to date and he'd let Aaliyah know, and this is how it had gone about. Now all the other guys were quite shocked and like, oh okay, but Milton did say something that, you know, that Lydia had told him, and Uche was kind of like blasé about it and saying, well, I don't really care. But on the flip side, I would say Aaliyah could have at least made it known that she was on the precipice of leaving and had some type of discussion. So then basically it moves to a scene where Uche is speaking to the production staff and they're explaining to him that she's left. And Uche is asking what, and nobody spoke to her since she's left. She didn't give a reason. She didn't say goodbye. She didn't do anything. They're all saying no to these questions, which I found mighty strange. I found it mighty strange because at the end of the day, you've got a person here who's involved in this experiment, is going through some type of tumultuous shit with one of the other people in the experiment, then says it's okay, then says she basically is going to get engaged to this person. And you knew Uche was going to ask this girl to marry him. Not only did you let that man go in the room and sit in there for a long motherfucking time before you told him that she had left, now you're telling me you didn't even pick up a phone. You had this girl's number and you didn't even pick up a phone. And what made it worse is that you called the girl while Uche was sat there and got Uche to speak to her. Smells set up to me. That's the only thing I can think of. It smells like a setup to me. And I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I'm like a sleuth. I want to find out everything. So to hear this conversation go, basically, Aaliyah says that she left because when she went back to the room, her and Lydia got into it. So Uche was like, well, what the hell happened? What did she say? So basically, Aaliyah says that she went back in the room and says to Lydia that I told her if he didn't propose, maybe you could have him back so that then he can propose to you. And she says that Lydia told her, fuck you, I don't want him back. And then that caused her to leave. Um, I'll call bullshit on that one. I'll call absolute no, there's something else going on. There's something I've got. So you going in, knowing full well you and Uche worked it all out, worked the situation out. You and Uche worked it out, and you said you still loved the guy, and he said he was there for you 100%. But yet you left that room and, albeit had this conversation with Lydia. Apparently, had this conversation with Lydia, because I don't know if it was after Lydia came back in and said she was engaged and everybody went, ooh, because they didn't show us that part, which was quite convenient. They didn't show us anybody celebrating on that side when she walked back in, because we didn't get to see anything except her walking in shouting, I'm engaged. So you're telling me that after used to a level when you left that room, then you had this conversation with Lydia, which then caused you to leave. Something tells me that she's lying through her teeth. Something tells me that something else has gone on, and I don't know if they're going to show what went on in terms of why she really left, because I know that in the edits, in the clips, that Uche then does have some type, meets up with her and has some type of conversation with her at some point. We'll have to see how that goes when that happens. But for right now, for these episodes, I'm just calling straight bullshit. I'm calling something stinks. Something hella stinks. Like really stinks, and it ain't a piece of drawers that's been sitting there since Sunday morning. No, something stinks to high heaven here. I don't know what it is, but yeah, my spidey senses are tingling that someone's playing some type of game somewhere. So basically, Uche went in on her on the phone and basically said to her, so you're telling me you listened to what this girl said over choosing me? And she started breaking down and crying, and I think she got to the point where she didn't want to end things with Uche, but then Uche basically said that he didn't want to talk to her no more, he didn't want to see her ever again, basically. So he was saying that you basically thought of yourself before you thought of me, which is what she did do. To be fair, she thought of herself and her own self-preservation to get the hell out of there. This Love is Blind is different, man. This Love is Blind is different. Like, wow. And then to top it off, she says to Uche, how does he know when he was meeting up with her and they were doing what they were doing at his place that she didn't see his acceptance letter to Love is Blind, and then decided to plan to come on it herself and do all those things in order to get back with him? And he just like, are you serious right now? But in my mind, I was thinking that's probably something Lydia would do. But then I thought to myself, she'd be freaking crazy to do that shit if she did do it. And then I kind of thought to myself, to be fair, I kind of think Lydia said yes to Milton and is playing up to Milton because she does have an ulterior motive in terms of Uche, and that's how I'm seeing it go. In terms of Uche, she does have an ulterior motive. I believe that she does want Uche. I really do. And I think her saying yes to Milton, or getting the opportunity to have someone ask her to marry her, was the prime time for her to then get further in the process. But it doesn't necessarily work if you've got one woman, namely Aaliyah, who's decided to hop it, because then Uche can't ask her to marry him, and then Uche can't get on the show in that sense. But I'm telling you, something's coming. Something is definitely coming. I can feel it. Something is definitely coming. I don't know what it is yet, but something is definitely coming. And there is going to be some sort of massive triangle between Uche, Aaliyah, and Lydia. Well, quadruple to include Milton, because this is not over. This is not over. It really is not. Then you see Lydia and Milton meet for the first time, and they seem to get on okay. There seems to be like a little bit of chemistry in that sense, and I hope, this is where I'm saying I hope Lydia actually likes Milton. But for me, I don't see it. I really don't. And I just think that she picked Milton for nefarious means, to be honest with you. I just don't trust her. I don't trust. She hasn't shown me anything that would make me think, oh, I trust you. The same way Izzy hasn't shown me anything that would make me think, oh, I would trust you either. I'm just like, no. There's something coming. There's something coming. And Lydia's going to be at the centre of it all. Definitely. So the couples at the moment, you've got Stacey and Izzy, you've got Taylor and JP, and you've got Lydia and Milton, who have all gone on their honeymoons now. Taylor and JP seem to be getting on well, but that man don't talk. I'm like, she's doing the talking for both. That man don't talk. That man would not open his mouth. She's asking him questions and he's still like, yeah, one word answers. I'm like, nah, this is too much. Where's the man gone that was chatty up in the pods? Like, I have a feeling that he likes Taylor, as I said, more than Taylor likes him in that respect. And him not being quite open and forefront and having at least a 5-minute conversation with the girl where it's reciprocal, I think she's going to turn off and lose interest, to be honest with you. And I think through parts of the honeymoon, you kind of see that she starts to lose a little bit of interest, especially when she sees how the other couples are with each other, and she's not having that from JP in any way, shape or form. So I'm thinking Lydia might have a little bit of an issue still with Milton being 24, because her words were, his voice sounds profound and deep. I can still see the 24 on him. And I'm like, see the 24 on him? 24 is a number, not a person at the end of the day. I think Milton's quite mature in certain ways. I think Milton's quite mature for his age, to be quite fair. At the end of the day, he's not a child, he's an adult. He's 24 years old, and he's made a name for himself at 24 years old and built himself up to where he needed to be and wanted to be at the end of the day. So he is independent in his own right. I think Lydia at points has a tendency to mother Milton. And I think after a while, that's going to get on Milton's rotted nerves. And case in point, I don't know if it's in this episode, it might be in the next one. Case in point is where she's trying to tell him what colour swim shorts he should put on, because she wanted to be matching and he didn't want to. He didn't like doing that, but she didn't really want to listen to what he was saying. He didn't really like the whole matching situation. Yet tried to enforce her will upon him. But even when he got changed, he's still freaking well come out in the shorts that he was gonna wear. And I thought, good on you, Milton. You need to start as you mean to go on, because you give Lydia an inch, she'll take a mile, and she will run roughshod over this boy because she perceives him to be a boy and he's not. He's a man. And then it's the scenes. I mean, I don't think there's so many like naked filtered out naked bodies in my life in freaking Love Is Blind. I mean, you don't see that much, but now we're seeing these people taking showers together and obviously doing things. We can see it. You ain't filtered it out that much. The glass isn't that for motherfucking frosty. We can see it. We see the shapes. We see the forms. I just, this Love Is Blind is different. I'm going to keep saying that this Love Is Blind is different. Like, it's just, yeah. I'm enjoying it, don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying it because It's taking me on a journey. It's taking me on a total space hopping journey. I'm just like overwhelmed by everything that's going on right now. So then we see Izzy talk about Lydia, because we know all the couples are going to end up meeting, and he's saying that he is a bit concerned about meeting Lydia. And I'm like, why, dude? Why are you concerned? At the end of the day, Lydia's getting herself on and getting going with Milton. Lydia ain't even thinking about you. You are a spot in her past. She ain't thinking about you right now at the end of the day. And it's quite telling that you are now thinking about her. And that's when Stacey was trying to tell him, oh, don't speak Spanish to her, because they both speak Spanish. And I'm like, well, if he talks to her and they speak in Spanish, love, it's nothing you can do to stop it at the end of the day. I don't even see why Izzy had that conversation with Lydia, because it made no bones. At the end of the day, you made your decision. Your decision was Stacey. Your decision was not Lydia. Yes, Lydia got upset and did her whole, but she's moved on. You're in the past. You're in the past, Izzy. So that's when you need to stay. That is where exactly you need to stay. I don't understand why you had to go and explain to Lydia about your choices, and about what it is about her that you didn't really want to pick, and the fact that you kept on saying, like, you know, you was really emotionally feeling Johnny, and then bam, Stacey came in and that's what picked it to the post. Who cares? Who cares? It's because in that scenario, it's only Izzy that cares about that. Nobody else really cared. So basically, at the end of that conversation, Lydia's basically telling Izzy that she's in love with Milton and she just didn't want to end on bad terms with anyone. And I was just thinking, not end on bad terms with anyone. Who was Aaliyah then? Who was Aaliyah then? Did that shit really happen? And this is why I'm saying something's coming. Something's brewing. Something's building. I can see it and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But it's stressing me out because I want the whole story and I want it now at the end of the day, because I'm telling you, as I've already said, something is not adding up. Something is not adding up in the slightest. And then it moves to Tyler and JP. And Tyler's talking to Stacey in regards to how things are going with JP, and basically saying that, like, you know, in the pods he was genuine and outgoing, but now it's completely different. Now we're face to face, we don't talk. She basically did turn around and admit that she wasn't feeling JP as much as JP is feeling her. And it's at this point where I would say that I think Taylor is trying to convince herself that she loves JP, but I don't think she does. And I know that Taylor is saying that she used to go for people with looks, but now she doesn't want to. I think it's still the looks thing and the not talking thing that is doing it for her. At the end of the day, it should be the bloody kissing thing, because that man can't kiss worth a damn. I mean, when she's trying to kiss him, yes, you start with the pecs, but then it's supposed to lead to a proper lip lock. So when she's trying to press him for that kiss, that man don't. He just pecks even faster, like Woody the fucking Woody Woodpecker, for fuck's sake. It's like, I'm telling you, like a whole pneumatic drill going on his mouth. I'm like, why do you keep kissing the girl like that? Why do you keep kissing her like that? Because I swear to God, if you kiss me like that, I'll be like, nah, stop. Dude, seriously, just stop. Just stop. Either let me show you how I like to be kissed and see if you can pick up what I'm putting down. And if you can't, then please just don't kiss me. A head peck will do. Other than that, don't kiss me. So then you see JP, as it comes to the end of this episode, talking to the cameras about how they're hitting a rough patch. And I'm like, guy, you're hitting a rough patch because you're not talking to her. You're not showing her any reassurance. You're making her feel so insecure in herself. She's doing all the damn talking. She can't talk to herself. Talking to you is like talking to a motherfucking brick wall. It's not, you can't even say it's a sponge, because you're not soaking anything in to give anything back. At the end of the day, you're doing nothing, and then you're expecting her to keep trying to read what it is that you want to say to her. You're not saying nothing to her. You're not you're not reassuring her in any way, shape or form. So what he needs to do is literally just sit down and start talking to the girl, and maybe things will change from there. Right, my renegades, that is where I'm going to leave it. And I'll be back in quick succession with another Love is Blind. I know I said I was going to restart with my maths, and I will. I've done all the episodes of maths. I will be back with those. Hopefully by Monday, I'll get the other set of maths down. But I really wanted to get through on the Love is Blind, because this Love is Blind it's took me. It has. It's took me on a different journey. It really has. So as I always say, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so when you know I am back on and doing videos. And I'll speak to you all again soon. Peace out.